Ladies and gents, it is time that the pros enter the arena in Regicide Rumble 5. This is game 1 of 4 of pro players, and they have started with a hero here on Hyper Random. I don't know how to say this. Algirdus? Yeah, everyone starts with a hero as well as their kings. Listen, Regicide Rumble's been amazing so far. Okay, we've had some great games. We've had some great backstabbery, but really, the only way to get pro players into these types of games that we love is to put some money on the line. And so we've got $25 per King Snipe, and then we have the placement prize is much higher than we did for Community Days. It is $200 for first. I actually forget what it is for second and third because I suck. I think it's I think it's 150 for second and 100 for third. I'm sorry, I don't have it memorized. Someone could say. But let's introduce our players. I'm also going to read off their ratings because I think that's going to be important here. So we're going to start it all off. We're going to start off on the very top, and we're going to go with ACCM. ACCM here in the yellow. ACCM, top 10 player, in my opinion. Fantastic player. He'll be top 8 with Red Bull settings. He'll be in a castle in Spain. Beastly player. Nice guy. Be curious to see how he diplos here, because he played in Regicide Rumble 4. And he's fantastic. Didn't chat too much. He's here in the yellow. Next to him is Raven. Raven's around 2K, 2K1. Maybe it's hit 2K2. Plays a lot of Black Forest. This is a player from Romania, I believe. And look out for him because he will maybe not be on people's radar. In the purple, we have Pella, 2,300 rated player from Argentina. And playing as the Saracens. In the red, we have Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt around 2,200 right now, I believe. But has been up to even 2,400. And, Pella, dude. Pella has no allies yet. This is so funny how they haven't allied each other yet. Anyways, Pella next to Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt from Bulgaria, I believe, playing as the Bohemians. In the green, we have Ween Dinchester, 2,200 rated player from, I believe, Austria. I found out is apparently not Germany. Apparently we had that wrong and other sites did too. Playing as the Mongols. In the gray, we have Kongan, a player from Denmark. Very active. 2K3. In the blue, we've got Emu Warrior, a 2K player. You will remember him from community games. And he is community gaming. Says, hi, Andy. This is a PM. We seem to be neighbors. So he's going to try and diplo. I'd be very surprised if some of the pros play along. And we've got Andy, freaking Andy. Second place in terms of skill in this game. 2,600 rated player. They're really good in many events over the last year or two. He is playing as the Georgians. So it's actually Andy and ACCM next to each other. That's a pretty big deal. And Emu has allied everybody. And you can see Emu is trying to talk to people. Emu is trying to form friendships. Some pros will have played in this before. Other pros will have no clue how to manage these chat settings. In previous Regicide Rumbles, it was kind of tricky for people to chat as they're so focused on the gameplay. Usually they're going to chat later on. And ACCM actually sets an ally here. Now, the other thing is these guys might have gone into it and just said, yo, so-and-so, let's be friends till the end, right? So they can get as much money as possible. It's very possible there was pre-game Diplo. And yeah, that's all I have to say. This is Hyper Random. We've got lots of resources on this map. Trade will actually be really fascinating here because the corners are blocked off in the north and the east. So trade is actually not the best for this map. And now Emu has given up on freaking Andy. And Emu says, hi, Kongan. This is a PM. We seem to be neighbors. Would you like to be friends? Now, guys, what's so fun about this is community game fans know Emu. Like, we know how good he is, and we know his personality. These guys have no freaking clue. These pros don't watch community games. Some of them might, on occasion. But look at this. Kongan says, yes, let's take them down. And Emu says, Andy is on my other side. So they're going to make decisions there. And he says, I'm a bit scared of him. Now, Emu's a solid player. Emu will not be a target because these guys don't run into Emu in ranked. Emu doesn't play in big tournaments yet. So things could be interesting. I actually think a team of Ween, Kongan, and Emu could be pretty strong. And Thunderbolt, too. That would actually be a really good 4-player squad. And we'll see what teams end up happening here. Oh, my God. Did freaking Andy just put people on neutral? Oh, my God. Bro, what are you doing? Rule number 1 of community games. Rule number 1 of community games. Did I say Timu? Form a Timu? Emu just says neutral is enemy. Yep, that's the rule. And Ween says Andy, man. And Andy's like, oh, crap. 2 people called me out. Let's ally them real quick. I love that. I love that. Also, didn't ACCM just declare war on Andy there? I think he just declared war on Andy. He was allied with Andy. ACCM hasn't said a word. Now, English isn't his first language. But he could speak decent enough English to communicate in a game. And we've got fighting already. ACCM can't help himself. I love it. This is like such a big deal in Regicide games. Don't attack early. You're going to make an enemy. ACCM's like, I don't freaking care. And so the heroes that they all start with, they actually heal, by the way. They're fighting right here. The king is actually right there for Andy. Andy trying to wall up. Emu says, want to join our alliance. And says, Andy and ACCM are touching each other, which may benefit us. Because ACCM is trying to attack him. And that's what, like, Ween is also saying, like, yeah, it seems like those two are attacking each other, which is good for us. And Emu's trying to organize the bottom 4 to team up together. That's like a really good stack for them, I think. Especially because the other people aren't talking at all. So ACCM and Andy are at war. Number 1 and number 2. Which does not benefit them in the slightest, in my opinion. Another villager goes down for Andy. I'm sure Andy's really happy he signed up for this right now. And these castle age times have been really fast. Really well done. But Andy has not responded to Emu. And that's going to be the end of the hero there for ACCM. He may regret that. I think Andy may run in now. Heroes actually can't be converted, so you can't use a monk to try and convert that, I believe. Now, Pella is a solid player. I don't think, like, a lot of these players are opposed to teaming. They just haven't prioritized that yet. And I didn't see if Thunderbolt... Thunderbolt didn't... Well, he hasn't really been chatted to at all. So... yeah, that's the main situation here. Okay, so freaking Andy... he says this to Raven. Let's go, guys! Can we get some let's goes in chat? We got some Diplo from Andy. Let's freaking go. He says, yo, want to double up on ACCM? Only talking to you, Raven. Even put the 4 in Raven, but he forgot the 3 and whatever. Raven says, okay, but later. So they want to sandwich ACCM. That's not a bad strategy if ACCM is as aggressive as he is. Let's go. I'm happy with that. I think the but later is very wise. You don't want to do it now. You want to wait till you have big economies. Andy's got a really nice spot here. Lots of free space in this corner. And Raven could do a similar thing. Look at all that space to boom in. Kind of tuck yourself away. Emu actually has the eco lead right now. And still strategizing here. Says, maybe we cut to corner and get full map trade. That's crazy to think about trading right now. To think about cutting all those crazy trees at this stage of the game. That shows you the community game experience here. So here's where I'm excited, okay? Now, this is not to imply that I think Emu wants to do this now. But here's what I expect. Pros, they will form their team. They will stick with their team until they beat the other team. Yeah. Community gamers, they will form their team. They will stick there with their team until that team is a threat, and they will backstab. Could be a pretty crazy story for Emu. Emu is definitely going to backstab at some point if the moment is right. And of course, we know if you watch community games when those moments come. Green says, I don't like Pella for making us play on this server. Pella's from Argentina, so I guess they had to play on a server which is more lag for the Europeans. That's like, that's pro Diplo right there. Oh crap, we got to play on this server. Screw this guy. Oh, the extra 40 ping is the worst. And Ween says, Thunderbolt, we cool. Now, Thunderbolt is chatting to everybody, so he does not know the way to chat. That could be a mistake later on. But the good news for Thunderbolt is it seems like he's friendly with Green. And Green talking only to Thunderbolt now says we have an alliance. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm excited. Military count, nothing crazy. I think any of the military that's showing at the bottom left is actually just monks as players try and get relics right now. Thunderbolt signals this and says leave that as Pella is trying to get the relic. Ooh. Okay, Pella's laughing. Pella, you don't know they've complained about the lag of the server. And Pella is just taking it. Okay, I mean, honestly, it is close to red, but I feel like relics are first come, first serve. But in a diplomacy game, you might not want to give someone a reason. Like, what you could do right now is you could say, okay, you have it, and then red's a big fan of you. So, yeah. See how things go. I did notice that Ween turned on ACCM a second ago, but I don't think for any particular reason. I think it's just because ACCM is enemy to everyone. Let's look at ACCM's point of view. How does this make any sense? So he's enemy to Andy. He's allied to Emu, and he's allied to Gray. Well, he's probably ACCM and Andy. They have a lot of experience against each other in tournaments, and they're a threat to each other. Green says, don't know if Thunderbolt is with us. I asked him, no answer. Okay, so Thunderbolt might not be fully in on that alliance there. See how things go as we build up here. Andy did say I will need help versus ACCM. Can someone tell me, like, do we have any... We probably have a bunch of 2Ks hanging around right now, right? Just because the other 2Ks plus players are in here. Does Ween Dinchester play a decent amount of Black Forest? I feel like he might. Can anyone tell me there? I knew he's not, like, the biggest, like, BF guy. Like, that's not what I thought of. But, like, I'm thinking that he does. And if he does, I think Raven does, too. I think Andy's trying to reach out to the people he's most familiar with. King Boo says everyone plays Black Forest these days. I mean, not everyone. Let's be real. But King Boo in your circles, maybe. Okay. Shixo says he's played other free-for-alls. Okay. All right, good to know. Good to know, good to know. Shixo's in chat. He'll be playing in a pro day. King Boo's in chat. He'll be playing in a pro day. So those two, that already tells me the fact that those two are here. I expect King Boo to just never stop talking. No offense, King Boo. But like Shixu will realize, I need to talk to people. I need to set my alliances. I need to, form some teams. Which, at least like ACCM has just not given he's not cared about at all. Look at Andy's walls, by the way. Andy's gone fortified wall and double layer. And, we got a fast imp here. A fast-ish imp for 5 players. I mean, it's not really a fast imp. They boomed. They're just all really good compared to the community game. Community gamers. Remember, winner here goes to a final where there will be 4 players from the pro days and 4 players from the community days combined. That will be fun. And then also, we have a king snipe game before that. So the players who snipe the most kings throughout the first 4 days, but do not win their game, they all go into a sniper's game. It's very likely we will have many ties with that, by the way, because like to snipe a lot of kings and not win is kind of rare. And then the mods and I will decide on who is basically the best king snipers. We will have many factors in our decisions there, such as style points and how good they played overall in the game. So, I expect ACCM to just try and kill Andy here. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. He's just going to go directly towards Andy. He's making conks with the Spanish. He's got walls on this side. Now, Raven said that he might be interested in helping against ACCM. And Green says market ? But he accidentally sent it to Andy, which is kind of funny. And then he fixes his chat and says it over to his teammate. So really the only solid team, at least of 3, would be Emu, Kongan, and Ween Dinchester right now. Villagers from Ween Dinchester in the middle being killed by ACCM because ACCM just says, I'm here to kill. This is a war game. And Andy relocating his $25 to the back corner. That's smart. Like, this is good move. Take advantage of your map. Get that king as safe as possible. Really nice play there from Andy, who's starting to be trebbed right now. I think I'd like to see the same for Raven, or maybe even Pella. Get that king safe. Raven says, we share, okay? Says this to Pella, and Pella says yes. So notice Pella not really chatting, like, to individual people. I don't think we're going to see that from him, but he is responding. And he's a good player. And he's also, like, kind of middle score, so no one's going to see him as a massive target. I think the fact that Emu, the lowest rated player in this game, is top score right now is pretty wild. I guess it's really close, actually. But he's hanging with these pros. Pella says he changed his chat settings. He says, I help you, Raven, to kill ACCM. Oh, okay. So, I think ACCM... I think ACCM's in trouble, dude. ACCM is in big trouble. I don't know about this strategy. He's trying his best to break through right now. Andy says, so Raven, I'll attack ACCM in 3 minutes. And while Raven is already attacking ACCM, also Thunderbolt is here. Thunderbolt's attacking ACCM. Everybody is going after ACCM. And listen, I'd love to say this is because ACCM is the best player in the lobby, and he is. But also, he started off attacking people and enemying to people. So, he's definitely a threat. Not to mention, $25 is $25, and his king is in there. ACCM in trouble here, I think. Nice job from Andy to make it so he's not pressured yet. Like, his walling and this eco expansion in the back was really smart. I don't like the fact the king isn't in a building right now, but still, the fact it's walled in is pretty good. ACCM needs to maybe try and chat his way out of this. But this is not looking good. Look at the amount of fortified walls these players have built. We've got Thunderbolt with Halb Hoofnitsa soon. Is he attack grounding Raven right now? Raven noticed that. So Thunderbolt wants that gold. Greedy little guy, dude. Pros are so greedy. I love it. So they're allies, but he's like, wait a second. I want that gold. So he was just attack grounding the villagers there. Raven will remember that. And ACCM is going to be losing his castle soon, where his king is. ACCM does not have army. And Emu says publicly, hi, ACCM. I guess because ACCM has 3 vills here? That's probably why. But ACCM's villagers aren't going to be able to do anything. ACCM's dead. I think ACCM's just trying to run away so he can expand somewhere, but, like, he's going to be he's 3v1'd here. He's totally dead. And you can't really ask for mercy at this point because you've attacked Andy. He is bottom score, though. Maybe people will forget about him. I don't know. I'd say it's unlikely. Emu declares war so he could attack ACCM. And Kongan says, I think we need to attack Andy. ACCM is being tripled. Well, pretty good idea, right? Andy's going to be looking pretty strong if ACCM gets cleared out. And Georgians are really strong. The Manaspa are through now. That king for ACCM is in this castle now. And I don't think ACCM is seeing Emu's pleas to leave his base. The green says ACCM not a good ally. Well, I think that's what the cliff notes on this game will be. ACCM struggling. He realizes he's being attacked by blue now. And, okay, so now it comes down to who's going to get the easy money, guys. Because this is crazy to say it, but this is pretty easy money for these guys. This will be the easiest king kill of the entire game. Who is it going to be? Andy could deserve it. Andy says, king is in the castle. Let's flip who gets it. They're going to flip a coin? They're going to do a heads or tails to decide this? I think Andy realizes that Cav Archers are probably the better sniping unit. And so for that reason, he wants the snipe. The king does get sniped by Raven. And Raven says, there's my flip, bro. And ACCM defeated in 35 minutes. 35 minutes! We wouldn't have even had any blood spilled in a regular community game until an hour. Well, actually, that's not true, because a couple of villagers would have died to boars. But still. That's really good there. Well played from Andy. And now, if they clear out ACCM, they can trade here. And Raven says, okay, now we split resources captured. Oh, wow. So they're going to even try and split that. Well, hold on. You didn't split the... Are you splitting the $25? You're not splitting the $25, Raven. I feel like maybe Andy should get more of that. We'll let Andy decide on that. Okay, so remember, we've got this team. Blue, gray, and green in the north. It's really the only, like, super established team. It's a team of 3 anyways. Otherwise, there's just teams of 2. And, Emu says we need to go for Andy. He's coming for us. Now, I think Emu sees this army moving and doesn't trust it. And, you know, rightly so. Where's Andy trading right now? Look at Emu. He's actually moving his king to the very back. He has been onager cutting. And he says that Andy's going to treb the markets. We'll see if Kongan comes out in support here. Kongan's really turtled up. Wow, he's gone for Fatorias. He's not going to have much pop space to help. And then Raven, it seems like this is his strategy. He says now to Thunderbolt, do you want to double Pella? And Thunderbolt says yes, and Thunderbolt immediately makes a move. So that seems to be how Raven likes to do things. They just sandwich somebody. And Pella, remember, Thunderbolt apparently wasn't a fan of him because of the server. Or maybe that was green, I forget. But Pella hasn't been as chatty. And so similar to ACCM, he didn't ally people right away. Struggling a little bit here. And this is going to be pain, 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 pain for Pella. Andy's making his move. Holy crap, it's like these guys have somewhere to be. They're not wasting any time. And as, you know, Emu's being attacked, he's going to need some support soon. This is very good for Raven right now, I'd say. Because Raven is like... Well, it wouldn't be so good if Andy dies, I guess. But still, I consider this quite good. Here's green in support. Fully upgraded Elite Mangadai. And Emu is not letting these Manaspa through. Just adding more walls. Andy says, Ween, where is Blue's king? So he is expecting... Back to what we said earlier. He is expecting green to be a bro here. I think because of their Black Forest experiences together. But green really shouldn't backstab Emu, in my opinion. At least not yet. Oh, but he does. He says, right side in castle, you little snitch. You little snitch. And now Pella is dying. Pella is laughing. And Pella says, Emu. And he's tried to say, Dinchester, help me, 11. He's asking for help as he's dying. But, I mean, what do they benefit? They're too far away. This is unfortunately just the way the world works sometimes, Pella. You're in trouble, dude. Pella, similar problem to ACCM. Just didn't chat as much, and unfortunately, very good players wanted to kill him off. It is true, actually. Andy is from Austria, and I know on the overlay it says that Wien Dinchester's from Germany, but I heard the other day that that's wrong, and he's actually from Austria. So it could be the two Austrians teaming up. Okay. Oh my god, Emu said I trapped him! I trapped him! Watch this! Oh my god, he has trapped freaking Andy here! Freaking Andy probably had no idea who Emu was before this moment. He knows his name now! And Andy loses all of his Manaspa as he's been trying to break through into Emu's base. That's a sick play from Emu. And he taunts him. He says, nice Manaspa, Andy. Oh, dude. Emu, I respect it, but I'm not sure about that. Also, did Red accidentally send his king forward? Remember, these guys are not used to playing Regicide. We've seen it where players put their kings into castles. And before he even got really pushed, his king was ejected and green gets the snipe. Oh, man. Thunderbolt was top scorer. He's upset about it, and he calls the GG. Wow, okay. So, that's interesting, because red wasn't even enemied to green yet. It looked like green was ready to make a move anyways, but he just saw the king. I'm excited to see how this plays out. By the way, Kongan hasn't attacked anybody yet. Let's look at his stockpiles. He's just trying to bank up res right now. Not relying on trade like the others. He's relying on Fatorias. Could be a tactic. I think Raven is about to get king kill number 2 here. That king is left in the tower, and Pella has no way to escape. So this will be Raven's kill. And looking pretty good for Raven as well. Like, I think Raven has very good odds to be top 3. Pella's king gets sniped. Raven with the second snipe of the game. So Emu has asked for help multiple times. Has yet to really receive it, by the way. Like, the Mangadai were around, and then they left. So I don't think Emu is going to have people that has his back. Kongan is in this for the top 3. It seems. Like, he is actually playing this like he wants to go for a wonder victory more than anything. He's just camping. So it might be a 1v1 between Andy and Emu. And Emu, he might also be up against Raven. Raven might help out Andy. This king is safe. That's a good move for Emu. But maybe he's starting to worry that he could be killed off here shortly. The Kongan has not chatted much, but he does have a little bit of an army. He probably has pop space issues because he has so many Fatorias. This is nice for green because green doesn't have to worry about the threat of red. This is nice for teal because teal doesn't have to worry about the threat of purple. And it's good for it's good for Andy that he doesn't have to worry about the threat of yellow now. So not having someone on your border is really nice. And green says, Kongan, we go Andy. Kongan says yes. Emu says yes. He is Skirmanaspa. And Andy just says, what is the plan now to Raven? Halb Siege Onager should be... With proper micro, it should be impossible for the Georgians to stop. I know Manaspa are good, but Halb Siege Onager is really strong. I like how Andy wanted help and asked what Raven is going to do, and Raven says he's just going to chill. And now Andy's asking for support because he's already at war with him. Also, wasn't he trading out of this gate? Oh, I guess this ACCM's walls need to be taken out. His trade is running through the middle of the map. That would be really bad. I think teal needs to start some trade as well. All right, Kongan turns on Andy. Andy really needs to tell Raven to step up here. He says, I guess you have to help me or we will be 2 versus 3. Still very curious to see what happens with green. I think green's going to kill Kongan. I think green asked Kongan to make a push. Kongan said yes. He's going to see Kongan go forward. And he is going to use these drill rams with Mangadite to kill Kongan. I'm pretty certain of it here. Emu's team is about to break up. Green already had a taste of blood when killing Thunderbolt. Raven says, let's wait. I'll do some Diplo. Oh, let's go, Raven. Let's go, Raven. Goes to green. Says 1 to ally. Ooh, that would be a good alliance, actually. I think those two, if I had to guess right now, I'd say that Ween Dinchester and Raven make it top 3. Green says, I'm allied with Kongan, but don't trust him. Ooh, well, it sounds like you're in the market for a new ally, then. Raven's like, I wouldn't trust him either. And now, Andy says, Ween and Raven, we can triple those two. Then we are all top 3. I had it wrong. It's 200 for first, 125 for second, 75 for third. Andy says, deal. Raven says, agree. We are far enough. Well, obviously, those two are going to agree. But does it make sense for green to agree? And he just says he can backstab Kongan. I mean, heavy progress is being made into Andy's base. Andy needs help now. Our base, can you please list the top 3 payouts so I can look at it and have it into my brain while I'm thinking of it? Our base is the admin. Can you just... Somebody just type it so I could get this right for once in my freaking life. We have an overlay for it. Okay. If I can trust Sully... No, I can't trust... Our base is 200, 125, 75. Thank you. Okay, so here we go. Teal says, I will not join until Ween confirms. Green says, Pella, can you help him? Pella has been dead for 20 minutes. So Pella cannot help him. Pella could hardly help himself. Big progress into Andy's base. Andy says, hey, Pella is dead. It's 5 players. Ween, we are top 3. If you help me and help Raven. Dude, Andy is desperate right now. This is a desperate Andy. He knows he can't engage against this. And, you know, Raven's trying to tell Green to make his move. Green doesn't have to do this. He could just wait it out. But if he could kill Kongan, it would make things interesting. And he says, okay, 14. The attack rounds from Emu land. He'll defend his siege onagers. Andy will still take heavy losses. Teal is now here. Teal is going to stampede from the other side of this. And Emu and Kongan are going to have to realize this. This is going to be a 3v2 against Emu and Kongan. And here we go. Raven turns. He's focusing down the SO. His micro is fantastic, actually. And now Andy finally gets the support he's been waiting for. At the same time, big move here from Green. And I don't know if Kongan's going to be able to realize this. So Andy survives. Gray's going to be in trouble. There are quite a few bombard cannons and organ guns from Rick Kongan, and I think he sees this now. Man, I mean, there was just too much chill time for Green to be able to chat to the others, it felt like. And Andy did a good job. Props to Andy. Like, Andy reached out to multiple people asking for some type of a deal. Emu is going to ask Green for help now. But Green is not going to help you, Emu. He's going to help himself. There's a king he can snipe. Kongan, you got to react to this. You have to react to this. He does react to this. He sees it. His king is in this castle. Crazy fight here. A lot of the siege onagers go down. There are enough bombard cannons to maybe hold this. Bombard cannons can take out the rams. The castle fire could maybe do the rest. It's not going to be easy. Mongols I'd prefer over Portuguese every day, but this may be doable. What's not doable, though, is for Emu to hold on his own. Emu is dying. Emu is dying. He's cutting to the corner. He's trying to get away from all this action. He's going to lose his eco. He doesn't have support. Let's face it. We knew Kongan wasn't going to be the best form of support anyways, because he doesn't have population space. His plan was to go Fatorias, but that limits your population space. Odds are right now, Emu will be dead, and Kongan will be dead before anything else changes. And this will go as Andy, Raven, and Ween Dinchester wanted it to go. Raven now turning on Kongan as well. This is not looking good. Now, guys, there's something I talk about in community games all the time. And it's, if you could stay alive long enough for the big players to not trust each other, you can have a chance at surviving. And I think that's actually Emu's best plan. It might seem so crazy, right? But if he can just wedge himself into the corner, and then Kongan dies, the other 3, they might get antsy and try and kill each other. And then Emu's going to be, like, really struggling, and they might not target him anymore. They need to somehow get through these walls. Look at this pressure. I mean, this is crazy. The bombard cannons and Trebs are going to try and break down those walls, but there goes Emu, cutting his way to the corner. Green has actually made a run for it. Green's moving his king back. And Kongan is holding with the bombard cannons for now. Really nice hold from Kongan. Quick look at stockpiles, guys. Here's what we're working with. I mean, the lack of gold is crazy. Kongan might actually hold solely because of those Fatorias. They have not had heavy trade routes set up. They have backstabbed a lot of allies that could have offered good trade. So all the gold units we're seeing, the Manaspa, the Mangadai, the Cav Archers, they might not be available for much longer. Emu, though, it's a big problem for him, is these walls are going to go down, and they're still pressuring him. Also, I love this from Andy. He put his king in a tower. It is in the corner, but even now you can see he's adding more fortifications just in case. And there goes Emu. Emu with the fight. Going to the corner of the map. Just trying to stay alive here. Man, I thought Kongan was so dead. Kongan is not only like alive, but he's in a really good spot now. And here goes Emu. This is exactly what a Kami gamer would do. He says, Ween, they will kill you after. Which is true. Which is true. That's exactly what will happen. They will team up on him because he wasn't part of the original squad. He's going to try and get that point across to them. Raven researches treason just to find out that the king is back here. And Emu... Emu's just got to cut and wall, cut and wall, cut and wall. I mean, if he walls this multiple times, it could be really good. Raven says, we kill blue, then help with gray, okay? So they don't seem interested in changing their mind. But, like, Kongan might make progress on green. It might make sense for green to team with Kongan again soon. I don't know if Kongan will accept that. Emu, as long as he walls this, they are going to be really disappointed, dude. They're not going to be able to kill him. They are not going to be able to. It's going to take too long, and they're going to get... they are going to get antsy and have to do something else. Andy says, how many king snipes do you have, Raven? Do you have all 3? And Raven says 2. I don't know. I don't know about ACCM. Yeah, he probably didn't see it, but he did get that one. Mark it down for Emu. I guess he doesn't have one because he doesn't have an economy. Raven says, consider that you were dead without help. So, yeah, that's just in case Andy's getting a little jealous because Andy didn't get any of the money yet. I mean, Emu can buy and sell resources to get more stone. He really just needs vills. So he's going to boom back here. And here comes Raven. Raven's going to help out. But, guys, this is what I mean, right? Emu will live because they're going to get through here, and all they're going to see is a massive layer of wall. Oh, God, there's an onager. The onager's actually a big problem. I didn't see the onager. Emu might not live. Yep. I mean, they're working together. They're going to hunt him down. And Emu is not going to see that. He will have bombard cannons, though. I mean, maybe there's a shot. Well, for Emu to have a chance, somebody needs to die. And I don't know how that's going to work. I still am curious on gold. Like, Andy's actually trading. So the fact that has 14 trade and there's, like, basically none for everyone else is a pretty big deal. Like, this trade is bringing him 121 gold per trip. And Emu says, it isn't worth it, Teal. Spend your time on an alive player. The thing is, they know, like, the alive players are either teammates or are already being attacked in Kongan. It's like if there was one more player alive to focus on, maybe they would switch targets. Look at this, dude. Like, is he really going to take out every single wall? This is what Emu's talking about. Look at this. Look at this wall. That is so funny. That is so funny. But big deal is the cut coming this way could kill the king. So these bombard cannons need to kill the onager. At first, they need to see the onager. Kongan's still holding. Like, green is not making progress there. And there's the bombard cannons, and Andy's actually has to micro away from that. This is crazy, dude. This is crazy. Look at that. This is almost unbelievable. You never see anything like this. Come on, Emu. Get the onager. Get the onager. Get the onager. Get the onager, Emu. Get the onager. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. He got it. He got it. But the stone walls. Siege onager. No! Huh! This is a problem for Emu. He's got another siege onager here. He's in his TC. Teal is distracted. The bombard cannons will go down. Emu's in big trouble here, guys. Big trouble. Repairing the siege onager. It will go down, though. There's more army on the way. Oh, no. This could be the end for Emu. They got to him quick, man. Man, are these players good. Emu. His king is out. His king is out. He's dancing. He's dancing, and he's dead. And Raven gets another king snipe. Andy's going to be like, are you kidding me? You got another one? And honestly, salutes, please, to Emu. He played amazing. These guys were just so stubborn. I really thought they were going to give up. Okay, so Raven says to Gray now, all three at once. So it's going to be a 3v1 against Kongan. And then they'll have the top three. I think if Emu... If he would have had a little bit more time, he could have dealt with that. Kongan must realize how this is working now and screams, I am peaceful. I am peaceful, he says. And I mean, you got to try something. But the other three, because there's prize pool for top three, if they can agree on a deal there, it does kind of make sense for them to just finish off Gray. Gray was never part of their team, really. With the exception of Gray was a part of Green's team. Green is trading down towards Andy. Stockpiles for Andy. Probably looking much better now. Yeah, Green and Orange are trading with each other, I believe. With trading through the middle map is just so ridiculous, but it makes sense here, I guess. Yeah, Kongan's gonna die. They're not gonna change. There's no reason to. And Kongan also is a bit dangerous, too, if there's not a lot of trade. And they let him survive, so... And Kongan, king is in the middle castle. This is absolute mayhem right now. This is crazy, just how much bloodshed there is. And I'm curious who gets this king kill, because so far, Green has 1 kill, and Teal has 3. If Raven does not win this game, he will most likely be in the King Snipers game on the final day. I think getting 3 guarantees you're in that game, but I can't promise you that. It does depend on how the other games go, of course. Crazy. I mean, they're just melting him. There's just so much. These guys always have the proper amounts of siege to push. They've got crazy armies to back it up. And, Kongan's just got 3 castles remaining. Now, what we could see is, like, at this point, players start to scheme a little bit on what they do. I think what Emu said is going to be correct, by the way. I think that... Well, actually, I think Raven might be teamed up on... I think Andy's going to say Raven killed more kings. And he seems to be trading with Green. So I think if Gray is out of the picture, they might actually go towards Raven. But it could kind of make sense for Raven and Green to go for Andy because Andy's the best player. And now Green says to Teal, we go top 2. We can't defeat Andy alone. Dude, this is good Diplo. This is good Diplo from Green. He's had a great diplomatic game. Honestly, if he would have teamed with Emu and teamed with Kongan, he probably would have been on the losing side. Who knows, though? He says Kongan is a matter of time. Raven's going to talk to him about it. Raven says, well, we need to kill Kongan. Well, I agree with what Green says. They will kill Kongan eventually. Kongan is just going to run out of resources here. He's at the limit right now. It'll take time, though. He does have a lot of organ guns, so it will take a little bit of time, but he doesn't have space to breathe here. So his castles will eventually fall. I think Andy really badly wants a king snipe. The fact that he asked earlier, like, how many kings did you snipe? I think is kind of funny. So I think he's trying to get in here with his skirms for a snipe right now. Dude, he definitely wants it. There's no other reason to be in here. He wants it. Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? King gets killed by Green. Oh, man. Green gets it. And Andy's probably like, crap, come on, give me a freaking snipe. Poor Andy. Well played to Green, well played to Teal. Raven says, okay, back off to your base. So they're going to back off and they're going to talk this out maybe. Green is actually trading the Raven and Raven's trading to green. Yeah, Andy's in trouble. Guaranteed top 3. Raven says, I accept your offer. So proper. But need some res to stack up. Okay, that's fair. And Green says, we against Andy, we have trade. Yeah, I mean, Andy has trade, but Andy's trade is to Green. So if Green turns on him, then obviously he loses everything. And that's the same reason why I think Green and Teal should never turn on each other, because they're trading with each other right now. So I think Andy currently believes that they're going to team up, that he and Green are going to team up, but he's top score right now, and he's the better player. So let's see what Andy does. Andy says, I don't know if that's like, And Green says, what now? Andy says, Raven has all king snipes. Let's double on him. He says, I have 0. Sad face. Yeah, but you are top 3, so you get $75 minimum. I wonder if Andy could afford a wonder here. It doesn't seem like anyone can. A wonder would actually be a pretty big deal. God, man, anyone else kind of miss Emu right now? What a performance. It was crazy, man. They were all over him. It did not take them long at all to get there. It was a great fight. Andy's argument is decent. And Dean says, we Austrians together, you mean? And Andy says, yes, sir. So Green is in a great spot, guys. Everyone wants to be friends with him. Everyone's trading right in his base. He could just say to both of them, okay, I'm turning now, and watch them fight it out and not do anything. They might not like that, though. That would be smart. Raven says we wait. Green says we wait. So they're just going to wait. But Green is holding all the cards right now. Raven says, look at his base. Might build Wonder. Yeah, that's fair. Just as we said, Wonder could be an issue. I mean, this is a good base to build a Wonder in. But you would need to have the stone for it. So no one has the stone for it. You could tell now Andy doesn't want to wait. And he's saying, okay, Ween, you let me kill Teal. He wants a king snipe so bad. Yes. It's so funny. You let me kill Teal, but you leave me alone. Oh, that's a pretty good deal. Because then Green doesn't even have to help. Okay. Raven says he's moving towards me. What will Green do? What makes sense for Green here? I don't know. I actually think, like, regular community game players might not help. These guys probably will, but, like, if these two fight a 1v1 and you just sit back and twiddle your thumbs, that's actually really good for you. But they may realize that and then turn on you, which would be the risk. Big battle here. Big battle here, guys. And Teal actually sending the king to the very back now to keep it safe. Siege Onager, Halb, Manaspa against Cav Archers and Bombard Cannons. I mean, the Siege Onager is the ticket here, I think. Yes, Bombard Cannons can take out the Siege Onagers, but that's what the Siege Onagers can do. And Raven is going to be completely overwhelmed. And Raven says, hello? Question mark? Green says, sorry, coming. Is he, though? Is he actually? Is he going to help? Because then if Andy's winning this, Andy said, listen, you let me kill him. That's the deal. I think Green might have a decision to make, and he does actually turn on Andy. Okay. So remember, all of Andy's trade will die now. And Andy, who has not been pleased with how this game has gone, says, don't, frowny face. And Green says, sorry, Andy, your defense is so strong. And of course, his name carries some weight. And Raven says, that's how you welcome me. I don't know what that means, but I love their chat. I love, like, the start. There weren't very chatty individuals. Also, Teal... You deserve to die so much, right? Emu should be alive, and you should be dead. What are we doing? King walled in? Wall? You think a wall is going to help? Not a fan of that one. Andy trying to make some deals. He says, you could have had a free win, Ween, if you let us fight. And Raven says he a man of his words. Well, Raven, you don't know what he said to Andy, though, so he's really not a man of his word. He's a man of the words he said to you. But, you know, I guess from your perspective, that's true. Green and Teal have trade. Andy has no trade. But Andy has a sick Food and Wood eco. And, you know, he is a really sick defense, which is what they were maybe worried about. This wall, especially some of the walls being emus, is actually helpful. Wall could be really strong. But I do not see an easy way for him to hold this long term because of the lack of trade. Now, Green's probably not paying attention to this right now, but if you look through Teal's base, you should be looking for flags. There's no flags on anything, except the monastery, of course. So it's hard to see that, maybe, but, like, it's fairly obvious. Andy is going to try... You have to try and convince the others to change their minds here. That's, like, the number one thing you can do. Everything else is secondary. Monkeys, these weird monkeys that Mega or Hyper Random have given us are getting attacked. Man, Andy, if only you had like a bird to trade with right now. If only... Oh, this is interesting. So Green is actually trading from here to somebody else. I don't actually know who. But Andy had army here, and Andy's actually killing that. Okay. Raven does not have the siege to compete with siege onager civs, which is what is remaining. Yeah, Raven's got the weakest civ remaining, in my opinion, because of no SO. SO is big. Yeah, Raven, all of his units are just melting here. I see the trade. Ah, well, Ween is trying to trade with Thunderbolt, who obviously is dead. That's pretty smart. I guess Andy's units have been carried away. He probably didn't even know about that. So that's smart because then his trade isn't dying if he attacks Teal later on. That's a really good move. If only Andy could have a market from somebody to trade with. That would be a nice tweak for him. But I don't think he can. I think he will fight this out. And unless he can get them to change their minds, he will be third place with no king snipes. Someone says you need to convert Kongan's Fatoria. And Kongan in my chat says, don't you dare touch my Fatoria. Kongan, you're dead. You can't even use it. It's only fair that you donated to someone else. Freaking Andy's the one who converted my Fatoria. We have a song about it, so that would actually be the player. Andy's used to that. They did me dirty. They did kind of do you dirty, Kongan. But your support of Emu was, with a total of 25 units, wasn't really the most helpful either. Andy says, why don't you let me 1 versus 1, Raven? He's like, come on, let me fight like men. Let's 1v1. 2v1 is dishonorable. I mean, I think Raven likes Andy. I think they had a good thing going. I think both these players like Andy, but they're scared of him. And his fortifications are way better because of the map. Green says Raven should be easier 1v1. And that's true. Well, Raven does have trade, but all that trade will die. I mean, Green is doing the right place. Green is doing the right place. There's no doubt about it. It might be brutal, it might be painful, but Green has had a masterclass game. Green has killed 2 kings. Green originally had a team in the north and knew when to bail, right? And Andy says, not if you waste resources on me. Well, Andy, it's not a waste if there's trade. And so you could see now he's got 5k gold, 32 trade units. Andy obviously has 0. Raven has only 500 gold and doesn't have near as much food and wood banked up. This is obviously good for Raven too. Even if Raven gets second, Raven might be in a king snipe game. And hold on a second. This is just the best player in the game. Like, this is... We know where this is going, right? Green, throughout this moment, had looked around, thinking about the future, and is thinking, where is this king? Where is this king? Where is this king? There's this freaking king. I mean, what are we doing? Freaking Andy says, Austrian love my brother. Okay. Now, Andy, if you stay alive here, you might actually be in a better spot than you think. Here comes Green. Talk about easy money. Couple weak Mangadai just strolling into Teal's economy. Andy's weak. Andy is showing that he's weak, saying that he's weak. And Ween Dinchester kills Raven's king. Easy money. Kills his third king. Raven's out of the game. Gets third. And that right there means we have a 1v1 between the two Austrians, Ween Dinchester and then freaking Andy. And here we go. I mean, Raven's going to be kicking himself. Dude, a great player. But you got to put your king in a fortification, man. Maybe it was all part of the plan. I don't know, but that's very intensive play from Green. Andy now will happily fight this 1v1. This is much better for Andy, too, because he might actually have a crazy chance of winning now. If he's the better player, maybe he can hold. His eco's not looking the greatest, but it's not the worst either. He's got big military count. The lack of gold is an issue, but the food and wood is good. And, oh! Andy is flattening the Mangadai! Guys, if Green loses now, Green may regret that. That's the crazy thing. Andy could actually still win this game with 0 king snipes right now. Mangadai, good against SO. And Andy's got trade out of nowhere. He saved his trade. Wait, hold on a second. I didn't know that. Where is he headed? Is he headed to Green's markets? All right, YOLO trade trip. Here we go. Just get what you can. Get what you can. Dude, if he gets to Emu's market, that would be crazy. I think he's headed to Green's markets right now. He knows the markets are there. Is he actually going to trade heist? Dude, Andy's back from the dead. It's crazy. Like, Raven's going to be like, you fool, Green. What were you thinking? Oh, my God. Green, you need to delete your markets. You cannot give Andy gold like this. What in the world? That's 61 gold a trip. That's 14 trade cards. That's 1,000 gold. And Green is probably, his heart's probably beating. He can't believe it. He's probably like, oh, I thought I could take him, but everything is falling apart. We've got a doubt castle here. This castle won't complete? No way. Doubt castle at 98%. Siege workshop's completely surrounded. He's got trade running through the fights? Does he even know that Andy is taking gold from his markets? He might not. What is happening? What is happening? Andy, dude. Just stayed alive. And to think, like, if Raven... Guys, if Raven just had his king in a castle, Green would have never turned. It was just too tempting. And now we're going to see Green. Green is going to stabilize. There's no doubt in my mind Green's going to stabilize, but really needs to realize that Andy is trading here. I think he knows. And he's going to wall between Emu's walls. So the trade paths into his units, maybe. This will get interesting. Because, like, if you're Andy, you're just... Whatever you get from that is fine. You're not, like, counting on it being there forever. I know a wonder is a good idea, but Andy doesn't have the resources, and neither really does Green. Buying up 1,000 stone right now would be tough. And Green's got the Mangadai numbers again. Green is stabilizing again. Green still has trade this way. Is actually going to wall this choke point. So, yeah, it seems like a lot of the trade is going to path awkwardly for Andy soon. We'll see. There should be markets for the other players. Pella doesn't have one, but Raven has one. So trading with Raven could be an option. There goes the trade again for Andy. But I think Green knows, so I think Andy's in trouble, and I think this castle will actually complete. It might not stay up for very long, but the siege onagers from Green sniping some of the trebs now. That's 40 Mangadai. And yeah, now the trade is blocked off, and it can't find a way through. So it was a bit of a disaster for Green, but Green has recovered very nicely. And Green could still win this game. It would be crazy. Like, I think if Andy wins this game, I think that both Green and Teal will be in the King Snipe game, because they both have 3 snipes. So 2 players from the same game can get into the King Snipe game. It's just the accumulation of all the games. Right now, it does feel like Teal is in. Obviously, if Green wins this game, he can't be in the Snipers game. But yeah, Andy's trade just can't get through. I think they will find a way, and they may path like into the castle, which would be horrible, of course. Actually, I think he's collecting his trade right now. He realized. He's bringing his trade back. Okay, so Green just allied Raven. I want to see Andy's point of view. See, Raven was against Andy, so Andy can't trade with Raven. That really hurts him, unless he takes out the castles. But Green can, because Green killed him, and he was still allied with him. So, again, I think Green's going to take this game. Yes, Andy had that really nice pushback, but I think Andy will slowly lose his buildings again. I think Mangadai, Siege Onager, Siege Ram is too strong. Unless Andy finds a really unique way to figure this one out. His trade right now has just been sent back to his markets. He's kind of stuck right now. Oh, he's actually attacking a market right now with his Manaspa. So he must have been scouting around. I guess that's a play. You could actually take out Raven's markets and then Green can't use them. But there are 4 of them there. There's also a market from Purple in the back. Yo, that'd be sick. But wasn't Green enemied to Purple? No, he was allied with Purple. Yeah, that's an opportunity too. I mean, all this stuff is as they're trying to micro against Siege Onagers, which is not so easy, and Green's going to lose this very important castle. How many relics does Andy have? I think he's got 2. I want to double check. He's got 3, sorry. So that is some gold income for him that we shouldn't forget about. Still nothing compared to trade. What's crazy is Andy's like Halb Skirm combination has been really good. Like his late game is so solid. And so he's done a really good job considering the circumstances. Again, Green still has trade. This has been a great game. Are you guys enjoying this right now? I hope you are. This is what Regicide Rumble's all about. I thought this was actually going to be a really fast game initially because ACCM died at like 30 minutes. But yeah, anyways. He died fast. He got to go to bed, but everyone else is a pretty long game here. I know there's a lot of Emu fans. There's a lot of people traumatized that Emu went down. I get that. I really would have loved Emu to be booming up in the corner, somehow alive, but these guys did not allow that to happen here. Yeah, here's the fortified church. I don't know if Svanguards is in. I'm going to assume it is. Like, he should have all of his technologies. The churches do fire arrows then, right? That's the army Green's been waiting for. Is Andy about to just give it up? I think Andy might just give it up. Let's check his stockpiles. Only 1,000 food, very little gold. It does say he has 11 on gold. Wait a second. He's trading to ACCM! And ACCM didn't have ballistics! You got to take out those towers there, Andy. I think he's giving it up, though. He says, GG. The trade would have never been enough. And Ween Dinchester goes to the finals. Ends the game with 4 King Snipes. It's very rare what we just saw. There were 7 Kings killed in this game. One player had 4, another player had 3. Now, I'm not certain, but that should confirm that we will see Raven in the King Snipe game on the final day, and then obviously we will see Ween Dinchester in the finals. Very good Diplo. He had the best Diplo in the game. Think about how he played this. He had a little agreement with Thunderbolt. Later on, backstabbed him, okay? He had an agreement with Kongan and Emu for trade and peace and harmony. Later on, backstabbed him. He had agreements with Andy. He had agreements with Raven. He backstabbed both when it suited him. And also, it wasn't like big jerk moves either, like where he was like a big old bully. He also got the kill on Pella. Let's not forget about that. He just kind of made the moves when it made sense. Ween Dinchester is one of the lower ranked players in this game, but all the players here were just fantastically talented, of course. And in our first pro game in Regicide Rumble 5, he gets rewarded heavily, dude. That was really well played from him. I also found it really funny. Now, Andy, don't hate me for this, but I can't help but think it's kind of funny that Andy came so close to getting so many King Snipes. And he kept asking, he's like, did you guys get it? How many snipes did you get? He was so close to getting so many of them. And he just never ended up getting one. But thankfully for him, he got second place. Andy says, thanks for pointing it out. It was just so funny when you ran in with the skirms. When Andy ran in underneath the castle with the skirms, I was losing my mind. I knew why he was doing it. And I don't even think that the other players realized they got the kills. Like, Raven didn't know. Green didn't know. They were just fighting the players and ended up killing them. That's why you need Cav Archer units, I guess. So, a great game. Thank you, everyone, for playing. Seriously, thank you so much. Guys, pros... obviously, this is very different for them. And so it's cool to see them in this environment. I'm excited to see 2 players from this game play again. But it was great fun. There's the resources. There wasn't really easy trade in this game. The players that were able to figure out some type of trade did the best. And the others, they weren't able to really get going in this game. But yeah, thank you everyone for signing up. Obviously, 3 more pro days. Pro games in Regicide Rumble 5, which should be amazing too. So keep an eye out, everyone. And we got more content coming here in the stream. I think what we forgot to do was we forgot to do a meme review, didn't we? Let's see. Are there memes from that game in the meme chat? Yesterday, meme chat was going off. So here's meme review. This one's actually amazing to start it off. Poor Andy. Sorry, bro. But that one just seems perfect. It looks very much like Andy, which is the crazy thing. I don't know how they chose a scene or looked very similar to Andy. But well played. What else do we have? We have this. This is good. Very accurate. I think ACCM maybe should have expected it, but that was kind of brutal. ACCM just didn't really work with anybody or talk to anyone the entire game. Okay, what else do we got? Meme review. This is great. This is so good. Andy so badly wanted a King Snipe. And Raven and both Raven and Green were both like, I don't think I have that many. I don't think I have that many King Snipes. Okay. What else do we got here? This is good. Along the same lines. There's good old Andy. I love the editing work here. The fact that it's edited so poorly actually makes it better. I like how the text is in orange, though. I think that's really good. Good details, good details, good details. Okay. This is so good. Dude, Raven, what were you thinking, bro? What were you thinking? You had 3 or 4 castles. He probably forgot. But King thought he was fine there, I guess. And newsflash, he wasn't fine. Okay, what else are we working with here? We got, oh god, that's a lot of emus. So we kind of went backwards. It is my time to go. Was I a good emu? No. And then easy $25. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Emu played really well. He played really well. I'm surprised they hunted him down, honestly. Oh, this is the amazing job from Emu. I knew when he talked smack to Andy though that they were always going to hunt him down. He shouldn't have said nice Manaspa, Andy. That was going to be the end of him. Okay. I think that is it for meme review right now. The next game is probably being set up. We have more. This one's pretty good too. Raven, I'm excited to see him again. He'll probably learn his lesson. This one's really good as well. Raven's king. I mean, the fact that he still played so freaking well and that happened is the other thing that's just so jarring for me as well. Holy crap. The memes have been awesome, guys. The memes have been awesome.